Hello and welcome back. Metal Rocker 86 is here again reviewing another album. You know what? Let's look at Neil Young. And the album I will review is Harvest. Neil Young started out in Canada in 1965 and has been part of many bands including Buffalo Springfield, Crazy Horse, and Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. He has also had a very successful solo career. His genres include rock, country rock, folk rock, and proto-grunge. He has released 44 studio albums to date, and Harvest is one of them. On to the album. Harvest is the fourth studio album released by Neil Young, and it was released on February 1st of 1972. It ranked as high as first in Australia, the US, the UK, France, Canada, Norway, and the Netherlands. It also ranked fourth in Germany and Spain. It is a diamond in France, a 7-time platinum in Australia, a 4-time platinum in the US, a 3-time platinum in the UK, and a platinum in Spain and Switzerland. Before recording this album, Neil Young sustained a back injury and it made it very difficult for him to play the electric guitar, so he had to play the acoustic. It consists of 10 songs and altogether is about 37 minutes long. There are many different band members, but the one most consistent is Neil Young on vocals, acoustic guitar, piano, and harmonica. The Stray Gators also helped out with Ben Keith on pedal steel guitar. For a few songs, Jack Meach was on piano and lap steel guitar. Tim Drummond was on bass guitar, and Kenny Buttrey was on drums. Now on to the songs, all of which were written by Neil Young. This first one is fairly slow. It's called Out on the Weekend. Instrumentation. This one is very quiet. The acoustic guitars and the drums can be heard equally, and for some parts there is a harmonica which sounds really nice, especially the solo at the end. This song is about someone who all they want is love, and this was a good song on the album. Now we get to the album's title song, Harvest. John Harris and James McMahon helped out on piano, and this one's also very slow, and it gives off a country feel. Instrumentation. This one focuses on the very soothing acoustic guitars, and the drum is relegated to the background with the piano. This song was actually inspired by Neil Young's at-the-time girlfriend, Carrie Snodgrass. She said her mother was an alcoholic, and she would sometimes test her children's love by threatening to commit suicide. This was another good song on the album. This next one is also quite slow, and the London Symphony Orchestra helps out on the instrumentation. It's called A Man Needs a Maid. Instrumentation. This one consists of a piano and it sounds very soft. This song was also written about Neil Young's then-girlfriend. They had a son together named Zeke who was born with cerebral palsy. Their relationship ended a few years later. She struggled taking care of her son and couldn't get her acting career back. This was another good song on the album. Now we get to my favorite song on the album, Heart of Gold, and it was also released as a single. The tempo speeds up a little, but it's still somewhat slow. Teddy Irwin helped out with another acoustic guitar, and James Taylor helped out with banjo and on backing vocals with Linda Ronstadt. Instrumentation. The main focus is on the soothing guitars with some background banjo and drums. There are also some really nice harmonica solos in this song. I feel like the song describes finding something that is sentimental to you, and this was an amazing song on the album. The tempo speeds up in this one, and David Crosby and Graham Nash helped out on the backing vocals. Are you ready for the country? Instrumentation. The main focus is on the piano in this one, and it's kind of catchy, but you can also hear the background drums and lap steel guitar. I like the solo in this one too. The song might be about rural life, but I also feel it could be about the Vietnam War and being against it. This was another good song on the album. Now the tempo really slows down as we get to Old Man, which was also released as a single. James McMahon helped out on piano, and James Taylor helped out on banjo and on backing vocals again with Linda Ronstadt. Instrumentation. This one focuses on the very soothing acoustic guitar and banjo with some piano and drum in the background. Neil Young bought a ranch back in 1970, and this song is about its caretaker and how he was once a young man like Neil. This was another great song on the album. The tempo is still slow as we get to There's a World. Instrumentation. It was provided by the London Symphony Orchestra. For the intro and verse, it gives off an Aaron Copland Fanfare of a Common Man feel. but things get quiet for a bit in the chorus. This song is really about something that would be sentimental to you. This was not really a good song on the album, and people even compared it to a chocolate-covered cheeseburger. The tempo speeds up a little bit as we get to Alabama, and David Crosby and Stephen Stills helped out on the backing vocals. Instrumentation. The main focus is on the guitars and they sound very uplifting, but you can also hear the drums in the background. This one also has a nice solo. I feel like the song is about personal feelings, and Neil Young wanted to use a southern state to symbolize it, so he chose Alabama. This was a good song on the album. Now this next one is from a live recording from a concert in 1971, and it was also released as a single. It's called The Needle and the Damage Done. The tempo here is also very slow. Instrumentation. This one only consists of a very soothing acoustic guitar and it sounds very nice. The lyrics describe what happens when you use heroin and what it does to you in the end. This was another good song on the album. The tempo is still slow as we get to the final song on the album, Words Between the Lines and Age. Stephen Stills and Graham Nash helped out on backing vocals. Instrumentation. The main focus is on the guitars and piano in this one, and it sounds very strong. You can also hear the drums in the background. As for the solo, it's also very nice. I feel like the lyrics describe a guy who's always on the outside looking in. He has dreams and hopes they come true one day. This was a good song to end the album with. So what did I like about this album? I enjoyed this one. The songs were all very well written for the most part. They got the order right. The instrumentation sounded really good and so did the vocals. The only change I would have made is I would have taken out There's a World. I feel it didn't fit and it didn't sound right. To conclude this, Harvest is definitely an album I would recommend for you and I'm sure you will enjoy it. Well, that's the end of this review. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up down below and don't forget to subscribe and share. Until next time, rock on!